Happy Sunday, beautiful people. Welcome to the Jaden Show. I am Jaden Cornelious, your host, and I've got a wonderful guest in store for you today. His name's Peter Coyle. He has been, he's called a cultural alchemist with a career spanning decades, which is amazing, as he's only 27 years old, but you're going to meet him in a minute. But you know what? Let's go see and hear him actually on a bit of a live recording with the Lotus Eaters. Check this out.
You've got
Okay, so you know what time it is. It is time for a Jaden Show commercial break. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, are you ready? I am so excited to introduce you to this week's incredibly special guest, the amazing Peter Coyle, everybody. Peter Coyle, OMG. Hello, mate.
All right. Can I just say I love the number 29? We were talking about big numbers. I like 29. That's a brilliant number.
It's one of the worst because it's your age. That's why you like it.
Mine's 3 times that.
That's my IQ level, actually. 29, to be honest. So, singer, songwriter, and I love when they say cultural alchemist. I mean, that is just like, you don't even need to put singer-songwriter in that title, to be fair. Cultural alchemist. I love that. Where did that title come from, man? That's just incredible.
I have no idea, but it should be a funkadelic tune, shouldn't it?
Shouldn't it?
It should be like, I should just have like a funkadelic album behind me, sort of saying,
cultural alchemist.
Yeah, if you need any healing, just put your hand to the album, to the screen, and you will be healed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cultural. It isn't like it. Basically, it's what we all are. We're just what's the word? We're just part of the energy field and the energy flow, and we're just in it, and we're just sharing it.
Yeah, and I guess we're always evolving and always kind of just flowing in and flowing out of.
Yeah.
You know, so
and growing and sort of, because we're all here to just sort of experience it.
Yeah.
Now, most people want to just get a job in a bank and get dead rich, and that's knock themselves out. That's where they're at. But the likes of you and me, we want to just sort of, we've got a different way of seeing things, and we want to touch and connect in completely different ways.
Absolutely.
And the meaning for us is different to the meaning for the bulk of people, but that suits us. We like being different.
Yeah, and we're never going to get rich that way, let's be honest.
Even if I was rich, nothing would change, because the things I'm interested in don't involve money.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, same for me. Yeah, the only thing I probably would have is I would probably create my garden to, like, amongst all the trees that I've like I'm reforesting my land and I live in the most beautiful nature, but I'd probably have like a roller skating rink.
Oh,
if I had money, I'd probably be able to go. Well, maybe not, because I'm on a mountain like this. I'd end up in Guatemala for lunchtime. That was a nightmare.
But would you have like 29 garden gnomes or like stationed around?
No, that's so last season, mate. I would probably have Hindu and Buddha statues located around mango and guava trees. Actually, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I do. I've got pumpkins everywhere, so I'm a bit of a pumpkin fan. So yeah, I'd probably have pumpkins rather than gnomes, to be fair. But yeah, it'll be lovely.
But that sounds good? I mean, I quite like that. Is that like pumpkin sculptures and pumpkin art?
Just terracotta. I mean, when I was actually talking to the drummer Gerardo Ruiz on last week's show. And he's called Pumpkin Drummer, and I was like, I love pumpkins. And it was because I lived in London, and my mother was still is a bit of a minimalist.
Wow.
And it was really boring. Like, it was like magnolia walls, one ornament of a budgie. Like, my dad used to have a little aviary, and it was kind of. And I remember Halloween, not so much Halloween, but a little bit on Halloween and Christmas, where the house, because I'm a little bit autistic, the house was filled with magic for that short space of time. Oh. So there were lights, or there were candles, or there were pumpkins and little, and it was just magical for that time. And then I remember that on the 5th of January, when it was almost time to go back to school, and my mum would take everything down, I hated school, like detested it, and it was back to magnolia walls and one budget. And it was just like, oh my God, this is like, I just found that when I got older, my house I could take my Christmas decorations down or my Halloween decorations down, and you wouldn't know I'd taken them down. Like, there is I take the Christmas tree down, I don't have Christmas stuff up, but I take my Halloween main stuff down. But there's always like, there's a terracotta huge ass pumpkin outside my front door, and I have pumpkins like with candles in on, you know, next to my bed and stuff like that. I like I've got like lots of like, I've got Turkish lamps and like Indian material from my travels, so it's all kind of oranges and reds. So a little like pumpkin candle just looks amazing, and it never goes drab again. I hated that drabness. That really broke me as a kid.
I know, but I mean, to be honest, there's a lot to be said for a dry wall of magnolia, because if you've got a glass of wine and you've had a few and you've got all these like pumpkins and traps all over the place, you're gonna go arse over tit, sharpish, aren't you? So this
is why I don't drink on the side of a mountain, mate. I go into the city to do that. Yeah. No, it's very organised. It's not messy. It's very, very organised. Like, yeah, you've got clear walk. I'm getting on a bit. So, you know,
you've got to walk. You've got a clear path.
Clear walking spaces. Everything is symmetrically organised on walls and surfaces. It just means it does take me 2 days a week to dust. This is the only thing. But, you know, no pain, no gain, brother. You understand? I'm good with that. But yeah, but going back to you, so Cultural Alchemist, I really love that, and career spanning decades, which is amazing as you're only 29. But so I want to take you back to kind of, you know, to little Petey Coyle, right? Tiny little Petey Coyle. Like, what was going on around you, like in your youth musically, before you kind of started, I don't know, like the you know, the person that was a creative, like what was the listener Peter doing at the time in your youth? What was going on around you?
Alice Cooper, yes. Genesis,
I like Genesis.
Sparks. So, you know, it's very much music of the time, but it's Pink Floyd. Relics was a big favourite. Relics was a big favourite. But I mean, it was just the best thing about being a listener in those days. Was we had a couple of mates, and we'd all spend the whole weekend listening to every Bad Company album. So that's all we do. They'd all get drunk, and I didn't drink because I was super boring. But they'd all get drunk and snog and things. Where I'd actually listen to the Bad Company albums for the whole weekend. So, but I used to love that because as a kid, I loved doing projects. So we went on a holiday, school holiday camp or whatever it's called. And like I do a project on flowers. I do projects on pigs. I just loved doing little projects.
Research.
So those weekends.
Yeah.
What?
Like doing research on something.
Yeah. And just finding out, you know, just for me, yeah, it was really important. It was meant a lot to me. If I was doing a project, I was happy.
Yeah.
I felt good.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and so when we had those weekends where we'd listen to every album, all the Led Zeppelin albums, it was just fascinating for me because I could just like immerse myself completely in it and lose myself while, you know, all these hippies around me just smoking pot, getting drunk and getting up to all sorts of French kissing.
I mean, the fact that you were 7 probably made it a bit more legal, to be fair.
No, but I mean, I was a super boring kid, so I had to be about like 16. So, you know, 15, 16. So it was, you know, so I was not the cool one. They were all the cool ones, but they let me in.
But good that you got. I was exactly the same. Like everyone was playing Star Wars and Had and Kiss Chase on the school playground. I was 6 years old, and I was taking a group of students around the school field in nature club, and we were drawing photos of butterflies and their accompanying caterpillars and what food they would like. So that was my and obviously I was like I said before the interview, like I didn't have any friends because I was a little bit, like not quite the norm, a little bit on the autistic spectrum. And so my best friend was my nan. So, but we would literally spend the weekend, like my mum and dad worked, so my gran looked after me for a bit. But we would literally spend the weekend like just. I have a cassette tape in 1975, so I was 2 years old, and my dad had this really long stereo that had like the dials that lit up, and he used to plug this really shitty mic into one of the sockets, and he would make me match my dial to the dial of ABBA. So I have a cassette in 1975, so I'm 2 years old, where I'm singing in perfect pitch, almost just under Agneta from ABBA, Knowing Me, Knowing You.
Oh.
So my dad was dyslexic, so he was not academically great, but could play banjo, like ukulele, guitar, mandolin, mouth organ. My dad was very musical and sounded like Cliff Richard when he sung. So my dad was very musical. But so my weekends were the same. I would just be immersed in probably blasphemy to you, but ABBA, Olivia Newton-John, Brotherhood of Man, really great pop tunes with my nan. So I never had the cool kids except me either. So you was already one stage above me.
well, fuck them anyway. But let's do it. Let's do it. Got myself a crying, talking, sleeping, walking, living. No,
I actually now, because obviously Cliff is an amazing vocalist.
I know.
Vocalist. And so underrated. But I remember, I think it was a good 10, 15 years ago, I used to listen to Kiss FM a lot when I was in London. And they were playing this new R&B track, but with an unknown artist. And it was really soaring up the R&B charts. It was names, but no one knew who it was. And it ended up being Cliff Richard.
Was it?
Yeah, and it was going up the R&B charts in England, like on Kiss FM, and it was Cliff Richard's vocal. Absolutely amazing. But now I've just started singing because it's the only one I can kind of adapt to my range is some people are born for each other, they love. So I've started doing that in my shows now. No one in Mexico knows it, but I'm like, I'm doing Cliff now, baby. This is...
What about that Carrie? Is it Carrie doesn't live here
anymore? Oh yeah, tune. Yeah, some really good tunes, man.
It is a great tune, but it's the move. It's the
yeah. It kind of just it's a shame that AI wasn't available when he was becoming tacky. When people were kind of seeing him, they weren't recognizing his talent and were just like, "Oh my god, he's just really tacky." It would have been good for him to do AI videos then.
Oh, I see.
It might have saved his career a little bit, and it might have brought him a little bit more credible to the youth because he's a phenomenal. I mean, I would love to. It's still my dream to sing with him. I would love to duet with him. He's an amazing artist.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a proper. He's a great. I mean, talk about decades. I think he's had a number one in every single decade.
Yeah.
And I think he's been going for 6 or 7.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in it. It's got to be like it must be. Olivia Newton-John, she was in her early 70s, so he was older than her, so he's got to be coming up to 80 if he ain't already, and he's been singing since his late teens, right?
Yeah, I mean, I worked with his producer, Alan Tarney, and it was funny really because it's annoying. I don't really do regrets because and it's not a regret. It's just the way it is. Life's life. Mm-hmm. Things don't work out, but he was recording us and was in his studio. He was dead posh and a millionaire and all that palaver, and we were in his shed, and he had a Fairlight there, 70 grand, just like brand new, and I was like, bloody hell. It was just anyway, very hard for me to get my head around, and I was just sitting there, and I can't play the acoustic guitar still to this day, and some band was on the telly, and I said, I can write a song like that, and he said, oh, all right then, go on then. So with me one finger forte, I just started making up a tune literally on the spot.
Wow.
And he went, he was shocked. because he was obvious like I wasn't a musician.
Yeah.
But the fact that I had the
You were doing
confidence
it, yeah.
to just do it anyway with what I've got, and do a vocal and words and jam it and improvise it. He was like, what he said, basically, can we work together? I'd like to work with you. And I said, yeah, I'd love it. And then, but Jerry, the guitarist, and he was quite possessive and jealous.
Oh, really?
Not that he was going out with me or anything like that, but he was, just horrible. So it didn't happen because I was an idiot. But I should have, because if I'd have worked with him, hopefully we would have written some tunes for Cliff, which would have been great for me.
Yeah, and it would have been a lot better than Mistletoe and Wine. Although I do sing that at Christmas as well, I have to be honest. when I'm really pushed for another English song to sing, my 3-hour Christmas set. But yeah.
Wow. Well, I've got a tune. But it's melancholic, unfortunately. It's Christmas in Liverpool. So if ever you needed
great. Do I have to sound like you?
It does sound like me, like
great.
You know what I mean. It's got like a bit of a Liverpool vibe, like
sweet.
It's sounds, but it's a bit sad, like because
that's okay.
It's to me. It's dedicated to my sister who we lost sadly.
Oh, so sorry, man.
But it's a beautiful song. Bit sad.
I do. I'm a classical singer by I do everything now, but my forte is classical and like Josh Groban and opera. So bring it. Wow. I love it. I would love to do that. So before you kind of so you've gone from like your friends making out and smoking dope while you're listening to music. What was the process from going to that into starting to become an artist where you're in bands at school? I mean, obviously if you were anything like me, and it sounds like we kind of was semi-similar, you were doing your projects on pigs and flowers as I was on butterflies and caterpillars. And, so to go from that to becoming a cultural alchemist with a career spanning decades, how the hell did that happen?
Well, in school we formed a band. So I was I love school, but when it got to 5th year, I was really bored because I'd learned everything.
Right.
And I wanted to do all my exams in the 4th year, but they wouldn't let me. So we did. We formed a band in school. It was called Tin Ethics, and basically, the minute basically with me mates that we used to have the weekends together. There were 3 of us. One lad played an acoustic guitar but he was left-handed, so he played it the wrong way round.
Okay.
And the other lad had another acoustic guitar, and I would sing in the corner with a lampshade over my head and just jam and just make things up. Well, the 3 of us would just jam and improvise. Really? But I mean, I was a freak, full-on freakdom. With my lampshade, I mean, I looked $1 million, to be honest. But anyway, so when it came to joining a band in school, and I'd be singing in a bin bag, corrosive, and because we went to a Catholic school, and
you wasn't a shy kid then.
I was very shy.
Really.
But that's the thing.
Created that persona.
Well, it was just like it was like a universe shift. It was like, because I couldn't eat for 3 days before I did that first gig.
Well, I know, I've been like that. Yeah, I know
for
that.
3 days, and then but the minute I sung, I knew there was nothing. I was, I literally internally I said to me, I don't care how messed up and poor I'm going to be, because I knew I was stuffed.
Right.
I knew it was a poor career
sure.
because I should have been going to university, but it was like, no, this is for me, because it there was an emotional shift.
Yeah.
For me.
I couldn't even get on a bus until my 20s because I didn't have the nerve to walk on in front of people. Oh. And I was, and I'd started singing in church in my late teens. I was like a Pentecostal born again crazy.
Yeah,
But it taught me phenomenal
yeah,
lessons, and it got me
yeah,
an opportunity where I was going all over the country singing gospel, and it
yeah,
was wonderful. And
mega.
I couldn't really sing. I mean, this was the thing, but I was very pretty, and I had a voice, but I wasn't a good singer. But
Yeah,
I think the message behind the music that I was singing, which is always the most important, I think, was,
yeah,
got me so much attention. And then, I got signed to BMG in the 90s. It all happened really organically and nicely and calmly that I didn't have time to really panic about much.
cool.
So, but I was saying to another singer friend of mine, like, even when I tried to leave it, I had a really bad manager. And when I tried to leave it, like, I didn't know who I was. It was like the last thing in the world that I would want to do, because it was so against my shyness, my don't want to be in front of people, don't like being judged, all this kind of thing. But it was the only thing to this day that makes me feel like I don't know who Jaden is without being an
Yeah,
artist at all,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
creative.
yeah,
So I really,
yeah.
really get that. It's just
It's funny.
crazy.
It's funny as well because I
Yeah.
used to go to church. I used to go to church. My mum was banned because she was, but who cares? But I used to go to church and for the singing.
Right, yeah.
It was for the singing. It was for the tunes were mega, and just to be able to sing, no one probably. Yeah, it's just there's something. The universe changes when you sing. You
Yeah.
resonate on a completely different wavelength, and it's yeah,
No, completely. It's all energy, isn't it? All vibrational
yeah,
energy. So yeah, absolutely can change everything. I was saying that in last week's show as well, that we are the most underrated professionals on the planet, because if you're a carpenter or a plumber, you're going to make shitloads of money, right? And
yeah,
you can learn that
and
in
you're
school.
mega as well. It's dead useful.
Yeah, but you're an artist, and you can really change people's lives. Like, really, you can bring them joy, you can make them cry when they need to cry, you can lift them up, you can have them dancing completely ratted on tequila to mariachi on their kitchen table. I mean, like, it's one of the most powerful tools that a human can have. And people say, well, you need to sing free because you need the promotion.
I know.
It's just like, mate,
Well,
we're
look,
magicians.
it just depends on what you value. So, for example, I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, music is dependent on architecture.
Mhm.
So, without the carpenters and the plumbers, we're stuffed.
No, completely,
Um,
absolutely.
but I do agree with you. I think especially now when how can I put this? So my best mate as a kid was Peter Gabriel. Now that
Wow.
sounds a bit weird, but it's the truth. He was dead important to me.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, but it's just so. What I'm trying to say is, if music wasn't in my life from day one, when with all the struggles, I wouldn't have made it.
No, I get
Simple
you
as I
completely. Yeah.
would not have made it,
Me
and
too,
that's not a
absolutely.
dramatic thing. It's just the
The
way it
truth.
is,
Yeah.
and 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 to be honest, it's what's keeping me going. In terms of I know I should just stop and thanks for the memories and all that palaver, but I'm not ever going to,
No.
because it's who I am, and it's what I'm here for, and and sort of and I'll, I'm hoping that the day I drop dead is I'm still making a tune.
And you need to be met. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no way you need to stop. I mean, you can look at people like your Cliffs and Lulu and Olivia and all these people. I went to see Olivia. I'd never been to many concerts because I don't like being around people. So my only concert I went to was Amy Grant back in the day. Loved Amy Grant.
Yeah.
that was part, and I still do. I still sing a lot of Amy's stuff just because it just. I'm not Christian anymore, but
Yeah.
it was the power behind the lyric and behind the meaning
Yeah.
that she wrote that song that still, even though I'm singing the word God or whatever, like for me, it means something much greater than what I kind of imagined it to mean when I was just a Christian, you know. It was like now it's an energetic thing. So I can still sing it with the same meaning because I still have that feeling on a different scale. But you look at them like, you know, I went to see Olivia. So I got to know Olivia a little bit before I left England. And I got invited to go and see her at the Royal Albert Hall and in Cardiff. That woman, so she must have been late 60s then. Must have been like 67, something like that. And she fucking rocked that Royal Albert. That woman, I've never, I mean, she live vocal, obviously. She was superb. Like, I was always a fan, but never a mega fan. Like, I always liked her, but I always liked Whitney Houston. I always liked ABBA. I mean, I was always like her. But Olivia was just, I mean, she danced and she entertained and she gave for however many hours, 2-3 hours. That 67-year-old woman kicked ass with a full-out Royal Albert Hall. I mean, like, there is no... Until you're actually... I mean, even Phil Collins, look at him in his bloody wheelchair, you know. Still phenomenal vocal. There is, you know...
But, I mean, like, with Olivia Newton-John, like, there are certain people, as soon as you see them or hear them, you just...
No, it's them.
You just know. It's the... You know, and the first time I saw it in a cardigan or whatever it was... it was just like the first time you see Tom Jones. It's just like, what?
Wow. Yeah.
What? You know, just shit. There are people who just, as soon as you see them, you just know.
Yeah.
You just know. And
we don't have that as much anymore. You know, we were talking earlier about, you know, the Philippines having some phenomenal singers. And I remember once I was actually cooking, and my partner at the time had like a Philippine kind of like, it was like it wasn't a talent show for unsigned, it was like famous artists that were doing like a variety show, not a talent show.
Yeah.
So they were singing there, and I was listening, and like they all sounded like Mariah, Whitney, or Beyonce. I mean, they just had superb vocals, and I was listening, and I was like, I turned around, I was like, oh my god, it's a different singer. He went, what do you mean? I said, it's the different one to the one that first started. He went, there's been 6 singers so far. They all sounded like Beyonce to me. Phenomenal vocals, but there was nothing that set them apart. And, you know, when I started singing like classical and kind of musical stuff as well, you know, as I was going through my classical crossover stuff. And I'd done this show in a theatre in Devon, and it was with, you know, the guy that was playing Phantom in Phantom of the Opera, the woman that was playing Glinda in Wicked in the West End, and all this, and me, and then this whole stage school came on and done this big performance. It was amazing, and I literally sat there like that, and everyone sounded the same, and they all sang like this, and again I couldn't tell what boy was singing what line because they all sounded the same. You know, it was just beautiful voices, but just you know,
because there's individuals, there are people that are just
legitimately authentic.
Well, they're just mad, like Jack Nicholson. They're just off the scale freaks, and no matter how dressed up they all are, it's that they always will be. And
Jack, if you're watching, it's nothing personal. It's actually something very positive, just so you know. But
I adore him, and because the thing is just, how can I put it? See, I love Pete Burns, and he was just like he was just off his head, and he was great.
Yeah,
and he was a one-off. Yeah. And there was no one like him, and you know, it's what it's less important now, because now it's like it's like being in the civil service, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to the civil servants, but it's just not a kind of a almost it was if you weren't a freak, you couldn't even apply for the job.
Yeah. Now it's all very conveyor belt.
It's just all very sort of well, you see, people like Johnny Cash create because of the hurt and the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't have that struggle, they wouldn't create. So, and I'll be honest here, if I didn't have my struggle, I'd probably get a job as a teacher or something, and have a nice time and enjoy it and do something that, useful for people.
Yeah.
Or get a job in the hospital, like sort of I don't know, studying the brain or something.
Yeah.
But like where it'd be a much easier life for me.
Yeah.
But the struggle is what is. Without that struggle, you haven't really got anything. You have to have that in order to sort of function, because it's what gives you the fuel.
Yeah, it's a fuel for your creativity, absolutely.
And it means no matter how, because I'm a genius of failing, and that means no matter how often, how regularly you hit the brick wall, it means nothing, because because you grow. After each failure, you're like, oh, that was a big failure. That happy days, next one, and and you become stronger and more resilient. Yeah. And there's nothing that can take you out. There is nothing, because you're like, because people think that you pine for that career, you pine for that sort of
notoriety kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, I'd love a number one in America.
Yeah.
Right. I'd love one.
I'd love a number one in Southend-on-Sea, mate. I ain't like, really. I did get a number one on the LGBTQ chart in Canada, actually.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, 3 years ago. I thought, oh my God, I'm in my 50s and now I'm like a gay pop diva. Love it, man. Like, move over, Kylie. Your days are numbered, sister.
Does she phone you up and say she's panicking?
No, she didn't. But I believe that she is. And that's all that fuels me.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But I'm still waiting to be an overnight success after 34 years of being professional. That's kind of what would happen. Look at Jaden, he's just come from nowhere. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's like when I was a Christian, and it just was really interesting. They used to call God the Hound of Heaven. So, like, if you were a Christian, then no matter what you did in your life, he would always find you. You'd always go back to him because he would hound you.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Okay. I love that.
But I find that with music, like, it would never have been the career of my choice because it is so detrimental to your self-esteem. So detrimental to your self-esteem. You are criticised and hated and pulled apart. You are also having that done in front of thousands of people where you're at your most vulnerable and your rawest. And yet, there is nothing else I can do. Like, nothing else. And it's not, I don't know if it's a masochistic tendency, but it's something like, it is almost like, it's like, you cannot, if you're creative and slightly spiritual, like that, it's like breathing. Like, it really, like, I could not imagine not entertaining on some way, shape or form.
Because it's, I remember speaking to this, I don't know what it's called. It's a Buddhist nun, but it was a woman,
Yeah, Buddhist nun, I guess, yeah.
I don't know. It's just probably the wrong thing to say completely.
No, I think they are nuns as well, actually.
Anyway, but she was very nice, and I was just talking to her, and I was just sort of saying, having a little chat with her, and talking about sort of being inconsolable, and how do you deal with being inconsolable? And she just said, well, it's a gift. Treasure it. It's an absolute gift. And And it's the same, with what you're just saying there, but with the music, it's a gift. Treasure it, because it's the energy has found you. You've linked and connected to it, and it's basically, the more time you spend with that precious energy, the better.
Yeah.
The more spiritual it is, because we live in a weird world. Whether you're number one in with a worldwide hit, it's still going to be weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
None of it really matters. All that matters is sort of being in that space where you're connected to who
absolutely.
you are.
Absolutely. And it is a lifesaver as well.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
Every day there's always some kind of hope, or when you are doing something that you love and that you feel like, even if it's not something that will particularly be of your choosing, that it's chosen you, and that when you're in that, you're working in accordance, I guess, to your life plan, right?
Yeah, well, it's not even as serious as that. It's just you're having fun.
Yeah,
you're having fun with nothing.
Yeah,
with nothing.
Yeah.
And it's almost like an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's looking at you thinking, what is he smoking?
Yeah.
It's
Spice Girls, actually. It's Spice Girls, and I'm very happy at the moment. So I want to go back. So you were in bands, in bin bags and lampshades. So, like, what happened after that? So after you left school, how was your career still forming? Like, where did it evolve to?
Well, we were all meant to not go to university, and we were meant to stay in a band, but everyone went to university except me.
Okay.
So I basically just started working in the Everyman Bistro, which was like it was like a bar where, so there was a theatre above, and all the actors and actresses would come down and have a drink. But I'd be like, I'd be wearing my priest's outfit, which was you're not allowed to do, and I was underage as well. I was 15, serving behind that bar. But anyway, I was working there.
It's not underage for the Vatican. Perfect, actually, I feel.
But all the musos, and it was like the time when punk was happening and all that. So all the musos came in. So it was a fascinating, and it was the first time I'd ever had spaghetti that wasn't in a tin.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so I was like, that's why I'm a cultural alchemist, because I know what spaghetti's like in a tin,
as well as
out of a tin.
Preference?
Out the tin.
I do miss spaghetti in the tin, I've got to be honest. I don't get it. Yeah, I do. I could have spaghetti on toast now if you gave it to me. I'd love that.
Well, I do like. Well, I must admit, I'd enjoy that as well, spaghetti on toast. But you see, if we're talking about my final meal, I want aglio e olio.
Okay, I don't know who they are, but
that's just
if they can cook great, I'm good.
A spaghetti with garlic, chilies.
Oh, sounds nice. Oh, actually, yeah,
nice.
I feel a bit.
It's hardcore, but it's nice.
Nice, bloody lovely. So now you're working in the bar and you're meeting so you're starting to network at an early age.
Well, I'm like you. I don't do networking. I just observe and enjoy the ride. But yeah. So basically, I tried to form a band, and so I'm practicing in the band, and Frankie Goes to Hollywood's in the next thing. So I'm in a band called Jazz Babies, which is like a kind of we were, and again we just jammed. There was, and when we tried to take the tapes round to the record companies, which we did, they all just sort of said like, "Are you on acid?" And I'm like, I'm probably the soberest human being you've ever met. It's just that I'm mad. Because with the Jazz Babies, I'd like be performing hanging upside down from the ceiling and all things like that. I was a fruitcake. I still am, but I can't hang upside down anymore.
No, because if you fell now, rigor mortis would kick in and like, I'm with you, brother.
I haven't got the physique. I was very sporty because basically another healer for me was music and sport.
Okay.
If it wasn't for those two things,
that would have been it.
I'd play every weekend. I'd play 2 games of footy.
Right. So I never got into the sports because I was always used as a target. I did get into rugby a little bit. I was the hooker for 2 seasons. Didn't touch the ball, but I made quite a bit of money. No, because I used to be really scared of getting hurt, so I used to run like Forrest Gump. No links to Epstein files, by the way. But I used to run like Forrest Gump because I was so scared of the big boys hurting me. So I was good at rugby because once I had the ball, but no, I was never good at. I would have wanted to be a figure skater or probably a gymnast, but I was just too lazy, too short, and too fat.
Well, I wanted to learn ballet, but obviously when I said that to me mum and dad,
oh, you're outcast.
Well, it's just like it didn't happen.
Yeah,
it was like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's like, did a train go by or something? Squirrel.
But yeah. I mean, but I must admit, I mean, where did that come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Where did that? Well, like you know, like I said, well, because I had another moment. I said I want to learn the piano, and whoosh, that train time again.
Well, I learned the piano. My dad said, "I'll buy you a keyboard, like a full-length keyboard, but you have to rehearse 1 hour a night."
Oh.
So when I didn't have to, I loved to.
Yeah.
The minute I had to, it became like homework, or it became like something that was demanded. Yeah. I couldn't do it anymore. But my mum and dad wanted to put me in theatre school, but because I was so, like, I remember my dad said, "Look, we've got you in a not like an audition, I'd like a placement at this theatre school." I cried for days, because I was so shocked. I couldn't even go. My dad said, "Got a surprise for you. We're going to go and see Grease at the cinema." I screamed. I went crazy. The thought of seeing John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John really big in a room full of other people scared the life out of me. So I was always like this complete, like, autistic, introverted extrovert. Like, I would be in a classroom and I'll be going, "Goldfinger," you know, because kids will walk past it. But you put me on that stage, or you put me in a position where I have to do that, and I'm just like complete, like, you know.
We are so alike, because I was in class, I'd be singing like, I'd literally, we're in the middle of history, and I'd start singing The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. But I was very shy.
Yeah.
You know, it just...
I think it's about making yourself the clown before people actually criticise you for being different. I used to do it to be different, because then I was in a comfortable, controllable area for people to state I was different because I was being different. It's when you were being your normal, timid, quiet, introverted self and people called you a freak or bit, that's when it hurt. So I would always almost be over freaky in order to know that I was now in control of their narrative.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
I wasn't as clever as that, mate. I think I just had Tourette's. I you know, like, because I was like literally, you know, everything was just, what's the word where everything's just kept in and just
suppressed,
repressed. Yeah, I was like full on repressed Catholic boy, like to the max.
Right.
But then, like, you know, and then I just kick off with like Lamb Lies Down and Broadway. In the middle of class.
I wish I'd gone to school with you. I think we would have hung out though.
Yeah, we'd been cool. We could have done geography projects together.
Absolutely, that'd been amazing. And I wanted to be like an archaeologist.
Wow.
I would love to have gone and like kind of find like old remains and like of history and stuff like that. That would have been cool.
I mean, I think I've read every single book there is on the Aztecs.
Really?
I mean, I was literally obsessed with them.
You need to get your ass to Mexico, mate.
Yeah.
Do you need to get your ass to Mexico?
Well, I think we should start a new pop duo, but instead of being called Dollar, will be called peseta.
Oh no, well, or peso.
Peso, yeah, will be called
That's
peso.
yeah,
Like the cheap version of dollar.
yeah. Peso. We could be doing. I actually interviewed Teresa Bazaar on my show. Actually,
Oh,
is
she's lovely.
fucking amazing, absolutely
Love her.
stunningly beautiful.
I know,
Just-
I love her.
Yeah,
Love her.
beautiful human. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I love Donna. One of my getting ready songs, Videotake, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, still like if that comes on the car when I'm driving up the mountain. So I think my life is so random. I'm singing Teresa Bazaar's part in Dollar while driving up a mountain in Mexico to go to the oldest European settlement in the Americas to sing 3 hours in 6 different languages in a boutique hotel. It's just like really, like, and I wouldn't want it any other way. To be fair, like
Yeah, it sounds mega. In fact, that sounds like a film.
actually, I could probably, with my experiences in the industry and
Yeah,
being an autistic. Well, they make
yeah,
there's this Netflix series called Heartstoppers at the moment, and it's really good about this young gay lad who was beaten to shit and was always hiding in a cupboard or an art room, and then he fell in love with the straight rugby boy that actually falls in love with him as well. I never got that blessing at the end. I never got the rugby boy, but but that was my life. I'm like, really, like this. They could have made a series out of my youth and what I've done over the years, mate. Like, really, it would have been.
No, but even like your life now.
My life has so much colour and some dark bits. Don't get me wrong, but and I would never have been like that if I hadn't have been. Well, probably if I'd been straight, I probably would be married with kids. Yeah. So that probably would have changed my life dramatically. But I don't think it's just about who I am sexually, because I don't think that's particularly important. But by being a creative, like I've always, and semi-autistic, I've always gone for colours and pretties. Yeah. So, I've always wanted to like, oh my God, I want to, I want lights and I want a beautiful background and I want visuals and, rather than just sitting with a guitar, singing acoustic, in front of us, stable door, I want I want Lady Gaga, Madonna surroundings. Do you know what I mean? Like yourself hanging upside down. I need that visual. That visual is not as much now because I'm just too bloody lazy. But but in my youth, it was always about what fashion you were wearing and what was going on behind you and how the stage looked and how the lighting was, because that was as part of the journey of creation as was the studio and the performance as well. It was like the whole delivery.
Yeah.
So it was really important, and I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't been a creative. My choices, funnily enough, were to be a vicar or a vet. But I was superly allergic to cats and dogs.
Wow.
And still until the last 5 years, when I had to have injections every single day for my allergies, have still, even now I'm still allergic to cats and dogs, but not in the same way. Or I would have been a vicar, not because of religion, but because of that connection to spirituality, because I knew there was always something bigger, because music had connected you to something bigger. But the only name you have for it as a teen is God, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're brought up to believe. So for me, vicar was because I knew there was something bigger than what there already was, and I couldn't deal with the limitations of a human existence. So
it's quite funny. I went to I went to London to train to become a priest.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that would have been.
But I didn't, thank God.
No, thank God. Was this before or after hanging upside down? Singing?
This was was I 16 or was I 18? I can't remember, but basically it was over the summer months, and I went to Chelsea to hang out in a priory.
Wow, amazing! How cool!
To look at being a priest, but it wasn't right for me. It wasn't right at all.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have had so many years single if I'd been a priest. But there was that, so it would have had its advantages. But at the same time, a kind of man, like a selective man-made religion that has, quite a few limitations, probably wouldn't have done me the best of good, over the years, But again, it was also, I almost like loved the theatrics of it on some level, like, you know, in the robes with the candles and the flowers. It is indeed right. It is our duty and our joy at all times in all places. I loved that whole kind of. I just loved, and the fact that you were doing good and you were helping others and you were an ear to those that needed and you would visit people in hospital. Like, I loved everything about it because it wasn't about you. So the attention wasn't on you. You were like the spokesperson for something way bigger. So when you were given your script, you know, so they couldn't. It kind of, I don't know. As a Jaden, it would have been, as an artist, it was about when they attack you, they're attacking you and your authenticity and who you are and how you look and how you dress and what you've chosen to sing and what you've chosen to look like in your video. Whereas as a vicar, there was no attack. You were safe, but you were still theatrical. You were still connected, and you were still kind of, you know, doing something that brought something beautiful to another person. That was the main thing for me. You know?
Well, basically, the whole thing's real in terms of. I mean, I've read the Bible from every single word.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what's the? I'll just. It's the amount of freaks in there. There's loads of them, and the mega, you know, and you know, and yeah, it's real, and it's just that the way things are implemented. The human politics side of things is ruins things for
the
me.
Manipulation part of it.
Yeah, it's just whenever humans create structures, it's like when people get together in bands. Say when we set up a peso, you know, if one of us starts bossing the other one round, it's not going to work.
It's finished then. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's got to be like sort of what works for the two of us,
and fluid.
And who cares if everyone, you know, likes you more than they like me? None of it matters. No. It's are we happy together doing what it is that we do?
Are creating?
And,
absolutely.
And are we sort of? Are we going in the right direction?
Yeah.
But as soon as you bring structures and human beings, they just love themselves so much. They just have to be top dog and just like, you know, boss everyone around, and it's boring. We've kind of been like that since our creation, though. So, yeah, we're not learning. You know, we're saying we're more advanced. Well, there are on certain areas we are no different to how we were in Babylonian and bloody, you know, Egyptian times. To be fair. Totally. So, how did you you know? It sounds like you was a bit of a Madonna back in your day, really. Like always, kind of changing your style, changing your deliverance of your art. Like so we've gone from you hanging upside down and doing something like how did your career continue to evolve, continue to change, continue to morph to become the artist that you are known as today? I'm very contrary. So if I see everyone going in one direction, right. One of the reasons for me being in music is because I saw so many things that were wrong that they showed me that it was made clear to me how wrong they were. So it was obvious what was right.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, you know, and so that's made me very contrary in many ways. So if I see the crowd, the sheep go one way, I'm going the other. Yeah. I'm just not interested in, you know, and what impresses some people just means nothing to me. Mm-hmm. It's just like, bring it on, mate.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like I'm you know, it's and so I'm very as a kid I was always told to go for the money, make the money. And I've wanted to be ambitious. I have been ambitious. I did want to sort of you know, have a good career in music, and I worked really hard for it. But I mean, I'm a natural so for example, I'd make an album So I'd write for other artists and they'd be popular and things. And then I'd make my own solo album, and it'd be called A Slap in the Face for Public Taste.
Okay.
And people were like, "Are you mental, mate?" And then I'd think, yeah, it is a bit down and dark, that one. So I literally next week go into the studio and make another album called I'd Sacrifice 8 Orgasms with Shirley MacLaine just to be there. And then the same lad says, "You are fucking mental." Because it's just like, but we had a ball. So when we made the 8 Orgasms album, we all had wigs on. And it was meant to be like a Funkadelic album, but it didn't work out that way. But we did have a ball, you know. It was just such good fun. And when we did the Slap in the Face album, we had a great time as well. Like, but my God, you couldn't have made something more dark and black and miserable.
Really?
I mean, yeah, you know, like tunes like Those Russian Hills. I mean, not cheery little tunes at all, but to be honest, one of the most healing albums ever for me. Wow. Because it came out of the Low Seated Split. I basically was that close to walking away from music, and my manager bought me a Porter studio, and I wrote all those songs on that, and but there was no filter. Right. It was pure, like, because normally...
Exorcism, almost.
Yeah, it was pure exorcism, because there was no filter, because normally I like to protect people. I like to, like... I want to make the world a better place for people. Yeah. So, you know, I don't want to give them my grief, you know.
But you know what? Sometimes people hearing someone being so raw about their trauma, and it actually, you kind of think, shit, I'm not alone in mine.
Yeah,
you know,
which is
I think totally. They both play a very important part.
But it's a difficult line. It's you know,
you don't want people like jumping off of bridges. All of a sudden, suicide rates in Liverpool have escalated by instant release. Yeah, you don't really want that, to be fair. No, I get that.
No, but you know, and also it's really important to laugh at yourself. You know what I mean? Laugh at yourself and laugh at life. You know, and just you know, not take things too seriously.
Yeah.
Just, you know, just go with the flow and enjoy every single moment. You know, because I used to play table tennis, and I used to say to, you know, I'd say to me table tennis coach, like, you know, what is the meaning of life? And he said, there is none. Just have a laugh.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just have a laugh. There is zero meaning. Have a laugh. Yeah. And he was right. Bless him.
I did say to my mother, I said, I think you're fucking selfish. I said, I said to my mother, I said, I think you're fucking selfish. I said, for 20 minutes, how's your father after Coronation Street 52 years ago? I've got to deal with all this shit because they didn't think of me. So yeah, make it as. My thing has always been like, you know, like make it as magical as possible. Hence the reason why I loved Christmases and Halloweens and birthdays and fireworks and just anything that just made it less mundane of an existence.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Yeah, that's again, it's a gift coming from Liverpool because people from Liverpool know how to have a party.
Right.
It's like, because it's like you're at death's door every single second of the day, so you better know how to party because anytime soon it's gone.
It's gone.
So it teaches you get a really good mentality of like, let's have a party.
Being in the moment, and mindfulness stuff that, you know, people lock themselves in Himalayan caves for 40 years to find out about, right?
Yeah,
you just need to live in Liverpool. You don't need to go Himalayas, mate. Just go up north.
Well, it's true. I mean, the Zen greats would actually say that. Get down to Walton, lad.
Yeah. So how many albums have you made? And of all your years in the industry, what would you, apart from this show, what would you say has been the highlight of your career?
That's a very good question now.
The way you thought, fuck man, I'm really doing this. This is like, rah.
That's actually really very interesting.
If in doubt, you can say this show. I mean, there's no pressure. But
well, no, this is a beautiful moment. I do. You're a lovely person, and it's, it's what's the word? Absolute joy, actually. I know you're not supposed to say these things, but fuck it, I don't really give a damn.
It'd be real.
It's an absolute joy to be doing this with you, and
I had a nice laugh.
Pleasure, and thank you. I appreciate it. And in terms of the highlights, I think I've just started writing a book, right? I'm 7 chapters in, and one of the reasons why I started writing the book was because I wasn't sure about where to go with the music.
Okay.
And like, I keep on going back to music, and I keep on finding new things in it, and it's like I'm 21 again.
Wow.
And so for me, that is the highlight, because I'm 64 and I'm still
rediscovering
those 21-year-old moments where it's like, my God, this is like the first time I've ever done this.
Wow.
In music. And that is really, I'm so lucky, because that again, it's a gift, because you can have things, awards and all that, and fame and blah, blah, blah. But that feeling of like, oh my God, this is new for me. That's
what it's all about.
Yeah. That's it. That in a nutshell, that is it. And I'm so lucky.
Amazing, man. So what is going on for Peter Coyle at the moment, present time?
Well, I've got a new album coming out with ESP. Hopefully, me and Tony. Tony's just got the drums done with Mark Prosecchi, and hopefully that'll come out, say, May, June. Okay. But I've got a single coming out in March the 6th called Rewind.
Lovely.
So just going to work on a video next week, actually. Nice. So I'm looking forward to that. And and I've got I'm doing the Rewind Festival in August
really?
23rd.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's nice, on a Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Although it's a bit weird, because I go from being a total recluse to and then next minute it's 20,000 people on the stage. So that's a bit of...
It's one extreme to the other, isn't it, quite frankly?
Yeah.
I think extreme. I would probably not eat for 3 days before that gig. Even now, probably. But still would be cool to do. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And future plans, dreams, hopes, aspirations. If you had to, I know you like going with the flow, but if you're like, no, this would be great. This is what I'd like to happen now. I would like to see things progressing.
Well, on a personal note, I'd like to just keep on staying happy in the music. Keep on staying happy, and having that genuine meaning, that genuine. So that's the best thing I could ever have. Mm-hmm. And I know, God, I sound like one of those girls in beauty contests, which obviously I'm not.
I want to save the world.
If everyone could just start getting on with one another, it would be mega.
Do you know what? It would. The biggest thing I learned from having so many dogs was that you can be a complete arsehole and they still want love from you. Oh. You can go away. I can go for a pee and come back, and my dog's like, oh my God, you're back. Oh my God, you're back. Oh my God. I think everyone should wag their tail with everyone they meet on a constant basis. We would, not only would it be hilariously funny, but they've been especially in the whole COVID interesting situation where, you're in isolation, and I was with animals, they were my biggest teachers. The white cat wasn't kind of going, there's a black cat, mate, watch your purses. You know, like there was no discrimination. There was no nothing. You know, like the dogs. Everyone lived harmony. They've got a cat spooning with a dog laying on top of an, you know, and it's just, I was like, raw, mate. Like they're put down as the basic. They're just animals. But
no. I mean, I'm
so
with you. I mean, one of the sounds like a dodgy thing to say, but one of the great things about when it is me last moments is I'm going to get to see the dogs that I've been with. I'm looking forward to seeing them again.
That's really, not a dodgy thing to say, no.
Massively, and you know, it's just I have learned again. My best friends have been dogs. My best friends have been dogs and cats, and without them, you know, it's
yeah, my mum said to me that I don't understand this whole kind of connection to an animal. I'm like, Mum, like I would probably sell a kidney for my little two-legged dog who's down, to get fed.
I'd lay down my life for my dog.
It's my blood, mate. Like my blood. Yeah. And has literally I mean, with this animal rescue, I've rescued like 20. Well, I've got 21 animals at the moment, but I've also rescued others that have passed away. But they've actually there's been some nasty dark times in my life where if it wasn't for a couple of my animals, when I've been sick, I've still had to get up and feed them. I couldn't wallow in that sickness. Yeah. When I've been literally probably 2 minutes away from hanging from a bloody tree, I was like, well, who's going to look after my two-legged boy?
Exactly.
I can't believe, I had a bit of a health scare. I had surgery recently, but I had a health scare which led me to the surgery, but wasn't as bad as I found a lump. And I was literally, the minute I found it, I was like, you can't do this.
Yeah.
No one is going to take care of that boy like I will ever. So if this is my destiny, give it to me in 4 years' time when he's passed. But you cannot do this. And I don't give a shit about me, but you cannot do it to that dog. Because no one will love him like his dad.
Well, I fucking love you, Jaden.
Cheers,
so
mate.
It's just, you know what I mean. I absolutely love you, and I love the way I love to hear you say that. It means the world, and it's a beautiful thing, and good on you, and long may it continue, and let's make some tunes together, mate. We'll
absolutely. People at home, you've just witnessed this. We are going to be doing a Pete and Jaden collaboration.
No, it'll be Jaden and Peter, because I'll be in the background, because you're much better looking than me. So I'll be in the background.
I'll just have more tattoos, mate, and I'd dye my beard. That's all it is.
and I'll try and be interesting and sort of.
We could be like the new Pet Shop Boys.
What?
We could be literally like the new Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah.
Pet Refuge Boys, we could be called. You've got a cattery. So, we could do that.
Just pet dogs.
Yeah, pet dogs, actually, to be fair. So if anyone wants to throw a bone, you're more than welcome. I can give you my personal details after the show. It's not a problem. Pete Coyle, I cannot thank you enough for not only agreeing to be part of my show, but putting up with my Twitter problems, not being able to answer messages and get back to you when Twitter was being a dick. But I'm so pleased we connected, and it's not going to be a one-off connection. I feel that it's going to be something. So I appreciate you having your time all the way from sunny but quite dark now France to come and speak to me in the mountains of Mexico. It's been absolutely wonderful to know more about you. People at home, you obviously bloody love him. So you'll find running down underneath the whole of this interview where you can find Peter on his social media and his website as well. You'll also find on the title page to this episode everywhere where you can follow Peter and show that brother some love and support. Do you have music out at the moment? You have music where people can get you on all major download platforms, I guess?
Yeah, I've got a single out on Spotify called Utopia, and I've got a single out on Bandcamp called Shadow Self.
Oh wow, cool. Okay. So Bandcamp, major download platforms, www.petercoyle.com. There is no way that you cannot message him and find out what he's about and what he's doing. So, Peter, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a really blessed few days and enjoy it. Are you getting sunshine at the moment, or is it kind of a bit dull in France?
No, it's a bit grim. It's been like storm central, but
really,
there's always hope. There's always hope tomorrow.
March soon.
Yeah.
March soon. You'll be getting that spring. Yeah. Mate, thank you so much. We're definitely in contact, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Jaden.
See you later, buddy. Bye-bye. Thank you. How amazing is he? I had such a laugh chatting to him. He's such a good boy. That is a good boy, and super talented as well. Please make sure you go and follow him on his social media platforms and go and check out his music on his download and streaming platforms too. Don't forget, while you're at it, to subscribe to this show. Please like, please comment. Did I say subscribe? Please subscribe. Please share with your friends, and I'm already excited to be with you next Sunday on the Jaden Show with another incredibly wonderful person. But in the meantime, we are going to listen to another one of Peter's songs. In fact, it's new out. This is called Fractal. This is Peter Coyle. See you next week. Stay beautiful. Bye-bye.
Do you want me to press rewind, slowly press the fun times? Dressed up for the party, playing the tunes loudly. Rewind, you and me on the dance floor. Rewind, the intimate moments of four on the floor. Rewind, the sun shines some more. We dreamed we could have it all. We dreamed we could have it all. Cigarettes, spilled drinks and mirror checks, the Polaroids of madness, laughing like a car crash. Rewind, you and me on the dance floor. Rewind, the intimate moments of four on the floor. Rewind, the sun shines some more. Rewind, we dreamed we could have it all. Dreamed we could have it all. I can see you there, changing the world.